you'll still stand for the invocation, please. On behalf of all here and all the faiths present, we celebrate the hard work and dedication of these brand new graduates as they begin their careers in the service of their fellows. Please be with these graduates as they give them themselves, that those they help may in many cases live, and in all cases live more abundantly. We are thankful for all that has been given us, and we ask these graduates be given strength as they give their all to others. Amen.
That's right, y'all may be seated. Thank you, Mr. Latham, for those kind words. Always nice to start a ceremony thinking about each other and ourselves and faith around us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, students. I'm Trent Moorbutter, Vice President of Instruction here at Nash Community College, and it's indeed my pleasure to welcome you all. Not you're already here, you've been invited, so to welcome you to Nash Community College. On behalf of President Carver and the Board of Trustees, again, it is my pleasure. Students, you have worked hard. As Mr. Latham just said, this graduating class is larger than the first curriculum ceremony that he was involved in a number of years ago. Our president likes to talk about our students, especially when our students are in the helping hands fields of study, that they're the ones that are often running towards danger or running towards when people need help when others are running away from it. Ladies and gentlemen, our students have worked hard, our instructors have worked hard. The campus puts a lot of pride and energy into making sure that the students that walk across this stage at this time of year have had the education, the training, the preparation they need to go into the community and help as they have so been called to help. Again, it's my pleasure to welcome you this evening to tonight's ceremony on behalf of President Bill Carver and our Board of Trustees. Thank you for being here.
How y'all doing tonight? I had the pleasure to be in the one of the paramedic classes here. Recent graduated, fixing to graduate. How about that? Well, I'm up here to introduce Mr. Scott Rogers. Y'all, Mr. Rogers holds a bachelor's degree of science and occupational safety from Columbia Southern University. As a master's in public administration from Bellevue University. Boy, he's an educated fellow. Mr. Rogers is the Deputy Director of Nash County Emergency Services. He's active with the Eastern North Carolina Firefighters Association and serves as the president on that board. Mr. Rogers also is very active in fire and emergency management education. Him and his family live in Nashville here. If y'all will, please join me in welcoming Mr. Scott Rogers.
It always makes you kind of nervous when one of your coworkers are going to introduce you. Ms. Moss, thank you for inviting me to speak. She called me a couple of weeks ago and said she was really looking at a dynamic speaker, but she couldn't find one, so you guys are stuck with me tonight, I guess. Justin, I think that was the second best introduction I've ever had. Last month I spoke to my mama's prayer group and she introduced me. That one was a little better, but she's not here tonight, so please understand that I'll be brief and I'll move through this pretty fast. But it is a pleasure to be here with you, Dr. Moorbutter, staff, family, and friends, and more importantly, our graduates. We're here tonight to celebrate a time of celebration because you have completed a lot of work. Let me be one of the first tonight to wish you a Merry Christmas. And keeping with the Christmas theme, I do believe that celebration is what we're here for. So on a serious note, again, it is my pleasure to be here. And I think as we look at the accomplishments that each and every one of you have made and the strides that you have taken, I do believe that that is something that is a major accomplishment, and something that you all, family and friends in the back, may know that what they have done and what they have been through and what they have accomplished. And you say, well, Scott, I don't really need to know all that. I did know that. But the truth is, I think any time that a group of people, especially this large, makes a decision to prepare for a career that allows them to serve others, then that's worth celebrating. And that's what we're here tonight for. Most of the time when I have an opportunity to speak to a group like this, especially a graduating group, it's typically firefighters or firefighter cadets. So as I prepared for this group, which is much more diverse, we've got folks with different outfits and different jobs and different things. We have emergency medical dispatchers, we have nurse aide, we have EMTs, advanced EMTs, and even paramedics. I began to think, what do these groups of people have in common? What is it that is similar about all of these groups? And as I began to think, what I began to realize is that all of these folks, not unlike firefighters, they're here tonight because they have chosen to serve. They have chosen to serve other people. So if it's okay with y'all for the rest of the night, I'd just like to refer to the group of graduates as providers. That'd be okay? Because each one of you will be providers. To be able to help people in distress, to be able to help people when they need it most. Whether it's the EMT or a medic responding to an auto accident, a nurse aide caring for an afflicted in the hospital, a telecommunicator instructing a mother to give CPR over the phone, or the aide caring for my grandmother in a facility because she can no longer care for herself. That, in fact, is what it means to serve. That is what it means to be a provider. Graduates, you have collectively learned to take vital signs, administer medication, triage calls, and many other technical skills. Your instructors have prepared you to be technically competent in your work and even be licensed for the job that you have chosen. What is expected of you as a licensed provider is more than what the average person is willing to take on. You will be held to a higher standard, and it appears that you're ready for that. And I have to tell you that you better be, because that is what those that depend upon you will expect. The other thing that I have to tell you is, as a licensed professional in the career that you've chosen, where others depend upon you, what you do at work and what you do away from work will be just as important, because the decisions you make now, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, can affect your career and what you do. So that brings me to my thought for tonight. My thought is, who will you be? If you give that a little thought, we've talked for the last minute or so about what you will be, right? You all understand that. But there is a big difference between what you will be and who you will be. We spoke of the skills and procedures and other things, but as hard as it has been at times, these instructors that you have here before you tonight, quite frankly, could teach the technical stuff to most anybody, right? Now, don't think I'm making light of your skills, because I'm not. But I have to tell you that 20-some years ago, I was a young EMT recruit myself, sitting right out where you're sitting. And my instructor, he struggled, not bad as I did, but he struggled to get me through. When I took the test back in those days, in order to pass the state test, you had to get 112 questions correct to be an EMT. I don't know what it is now. Probably more than that. Matter of fact, I had a young lady in my class that she was pretty confident. When we went in to take the state exam, she answered the first 112 questions, and she turned her paper in and left. She's now a doctor at Baptist Hospital. Guess how many I got right? Yep, 112. Guess how many I answered? All of them. Some of them twice. But my point to you is that even those EMT instructors could teach even me the technical skills of the job. Now again, I don't make light of what you've learned. I can only imagine what it's like, or what it's like to try to understand cardiac rhythms, to understand dispatch protocols, to learn everything you need to know to be able to take care of a person's every need when they can't do it themselves. So there's a lot of things that you have learned. And I know it's been trying, and I know there have been tough times, but the good news is tonight you've made it, right? You could smile. Am I that bad? Smile, okay? So my point to you is even though you've learned all of these things and all of this stuff that you now know, this set of knowledge that you have, it's going to take more than that. It's going to take more than that to be successful. Experience has shown me that there are basically three kinds of providers. There are the naturals, the ones for whom it is effortless. The Larry Carpenters, the Sherry Mullins, the Robin Perkinsons, and many more. These folks have it flowing through their veins. Then there are those who work very hard to be the very best they can be. They read everything they can. They do twice the amount of continuing education they need to. The ones who break their backs to make it look easy because being good is that important. And then there are the rest. The ones who slip through the cracks. The ones who view it as just another job. The ones who really only reach for the bare minimum. The ones who you and I hope don't have to provide for our loved ones. Which one are you? Each of you know the answer already, and I hope that something I say tonight will solidify what you need to do with that answer. Standing here now as an administrator, it seems surreal that it has been nearly 30 years since I sat where you sat. I said 20-some, but I guess I was slipping. But I did sit right where you sat. That was 3 decades ago. I was 18 years old and ready to save the world. And back then, I believed I could. And I believed I would. And I hope you do too. What I now know is that I had a lot less to do with what I did, but more about who I tried to be. Now, how I have tried to make others feel. I would share with you 2 quotes. One is, no one really cares what you know until they know that you care, right? And the second one I would share with you is, you can get everything in life you want if you're willing to help enough people get what they want. Now, looking back on those 3 decades, I believe I did make a difference. If only for one person, though I hope it was more. I did change the world, and now it's your turn. See, it wasn't all that dramatic. Here's what I mean. The question is now, how will you change the world? Who will you be? Will your commitment and your effort allow an elderly couple to enjoy just one more anniversary? Or will your complacency and disinterest cause a grieving widow to wake up alone for the first time in 50 years? Will you be the one to allow a person dignity in their last days? Or will your personal problems overshadow theirs? Will your knowledge and skills remind you that a stomachache is not always a stomachache? Or will a culture of burnout and malice allow you to believe that a drunk is always a drunk? Will your passion lead you to find a creative, innovative solution to problems old and new? Or will just enough be enough? Today is the day. Now is the moment to ask yourself, not only what kind of provider you want to be or will be, but how will you change the world? Because for providers, for EMTs, for advanced EMTs, for paramedics, for nurse aides, for emergency dispatchers, changing the world is not some elegant notion. Quite frankly, it is what you will do every single day for somebody. In fact, right now, somewhere, someone is going through their daily life, going out to dinner, grocery shopping, Christmas shopping, whatever it is they might be doing today. And whatever they happen to be doing, they're just doing with no fear, no concern whatsoever. Yet they don't know any of you any more than you know them. But the truth is they don't know that next week, next month, next year, or 5 years from now, there could be a life-changing event that occurs for them. And who will be there but one of you? And you get to make that difference. Your senses, your hands, and your decisions in that moment will be the difference between hope and hurt. What you do in that moment will change the world for them and for you, and that change cannot and will not be undone. So I ask you, who will you be in that moment? Will you be prepared or preoccupied? Will your passion for perfection carry today, or will the pursuit of mediocrity be too little too late? As you sit there tonight, the slate is clean. The choice is yours. And I offer you this: you are entering some of the most significant jobs there are. In fact, serving others, I believe, is ordained by God. It is rich with reward, but there are no second chances, not for you and not for those that depend on you. My prayer for each of you is safety in your work and prosperity in your endeavors. Look to those beside you for help, and look to those behind you for support. They've supported you this far, right? So as I close, may we all ask ourselves, who will we be? And how will we change the world? Congratulations to each of you, and thank you.
Good evening. I'm Ms. Joyner. I'm the program coordinator for the Nurse Aide program at Nash Community College. I look at all the graduates here in all the different programs, and I can tell you that a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of sweat and tears has gone into them sitting here tonight. I know not just by them, but by their families and by the staff here at Nash Community as well. Before I introduce the graduates, I would like to recognize the staff in the Nurse Aide program that's here this evening. On the stand with me is Cherie Winstead and Faye Figluski. Sitting in the audience is Helen Perry. Ms. Winstead is my full-time instructor and the person with whom I could not do my job. Ms. Figluski is our NA2 instructor and helps out with NA1. Ms. Perry is NA1 instructor, and I recognize all of them and the other instructors that couldn't be here tonight for their hard work and for their dedication and their sacrifice for the Nurse Aide program at Nash Community College. Thank you. Now I'd like to, first of all, say congratulations to the graduates. My Christmas present to you is I'll keep it brief. Remember that when you go out and you get your first job as a nurse aide, or you're already working as an NA1, you go to be NA2, and this can apply to the people in the other programs as well. Remember that you represent Nash Community College, that you represent the training that you've got here. So continue to do things like we've taught you to do in class. Continue to do things the right way. It's always good in life when we can look around and find somebody that sets an example for us that we can follow. If you look around where you're working, where you're practicing, you don't see anybody setting a good example. Guess what that means? That means it's your turn. It's always your turn to set the example and show other people the right way to do things. Don't follow the crowd, because I've never known the crowd to end up any place I wanted to be. So congratulations again to all of our graduates, but especially to our Nurse Aide 1s and Nurse Aide 2s. And now we will present the certificates. Sydney Adams. Carol Austin. Destiny Anderson. Ashley Baer. Catherine Bass. Kaylee Boone. Naomi Caswell. Maureen Ching. Haven Collins. Summer Daughtridge. Alexandria Davis. Lindsay Dublin. Julia Edwards. Kanisha Evans. Brandy Foster. Karina Gonzalez. Madison Gould. Bethany Hamilton. April Henson. Anna Hughes. Anitri High. Morgan Johnson. Brittany King. Cheryl Lewis. Danielle Lucas. Mariah Lynch. Sheena Lynch. Sarah Marlowe. Charlotte McCauley. Courtney Miller. Michaela Moore. Tristan Norris. Virginia Pollock. Jessica Powell. Annette Salazar Perez. Courtney Stone. Elena Wheeler. Amber Worthington.
Next stack is the NA2s. Who's that? Listen. Oh, listen. Huh? Listen. Didn't I call her name? Huh? Oh, okay. Is she going into it? She's
Elisa Wren.
tubes. That next stack turned all the opposite ways, the NA2s, isn't it? Okay. Yeah. Yep.
So congratulations again. Let's give a round of applause to our Nurse Aide 1. And now it's our pleasure to present the certificates to the Nurse Aide 2 students. Tiffany Boswell. Lakira Bullard. Jamie Hogan. Mary Leonard, and Mary Leonard, if you'll notice, is on your program for the Nurse Aide 1 and the Nurse Aide 2. She went through both programs this year. Miranda Massey. Miranda also went through the Nurse Aide 1 and the Nurse Aide 2 programs. Couldn't get enough of us, I guess. Danielle Moore. Roberta Richardson. Jennifer Watford. And Brandy Wood. Our last group of Nurse Aide 2 students actually already were working at Nash General Hospital as Nurse Aide 1s, and we did a Nurse Aide 2 program in-house for them, where their employers sponsored them going through the Nurse Aide 2 program to further their career at Nash General with the Nash Healthcare Systems. Sheree Blunt. Cynthia Brantley. Aisha Deans. I knew that family was out there somewhere. Brittany Johnson. David Lemire. Lisa Lifford. And Tequila, she corrected me, Tequila Ward. Congratulations again to our Nurse Aide 1 and Nurse Aide 2 students.
Good evening, and everybody, welcome again to Nash Community. I'm Olivia Moss. I'm the Director of EMS Programs at Nash. Graduations don't just happen. These students aren't sitting here because we needed to have a graduation. They're sitting here because of the work that they put in, the work that they did, and having you there as their support. You put in a lot of work too, trust me. Some of these students were in class for 3 months, some 6 months, some a year in class, and an additional 3 months of clinicals. Altogether, we've got over 20,000 hours of training in just the EMS program with this group of students. We're very, very proud of all of them, but again, this doesn't happen without our instructors. If I could ask them to stand, Sherry Mullen and Mark Revis. They are our emergency dispatch instructors. Christy Braswell, our EMT instructor. And our paramedic instructors that are with us tonight, Heather Newsom, Dan DeRico, Greg Williams, and Larry Horton. We're going to start with our Emergency Dispatch Academy students. Crystal Swenson. April Wade. Our EMT students, Cherie Blue. Shanna Brannon. Carol Dixon. Congratulations. Alexis Jordan. David Lemaire. You guys may have seen David a second ago. He did both programs this year. Derek Long. Marcus Prince. Sabrina Scott. Ashley Watkins. Our paramedic students, Christopher Aquino. Candace Acock. Julianne Black. Carla Brady. Trinity Cullum. Chad Edmondson. Todd Green. Jeff Joyner. Randall Lamb. James Phelps. Justin Price. Tyler Schneider. Robin Weatherford. Eddie Wheelis. Congratulations again to all of our graduates, and let's give them another round of applause.
Let's do that one more time and louder. All right, if you'll please rise for the benediction. As we go forth from this place, we ask that these new providers be supported and guided as they begin their careers, as well as throughout the rest of their lives of service. Please be with them as they assist others, and please help us to remember to honor them for their heroic efforts and sacrifices in the years to come. We ask that they be given strength as they give their all to help others, and let the good they do echo throughout this world and into the next. Amen.